air travel experience will no longer be the same because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, there are new protocols which every passenger, whether departing, transiting, or arriving, will have to get accustomed to. Now, I've come here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to help you understand those new measures. And to walk us through that new customer experience is Simon Peter Njoroge, Airports Operations Manager, and we begin this journey at the primary screening yard, which is the main entrance to JKIA.
When people get here, they are supposed to alight their vehicles and proceed here to the screening area.
So this is
One of the things that you see here is the social distancing marking, and the idea is to keep the 1.5 meter distancing. Once we get over here,
Yes.
you're going to wash your hands and also make sure that you wash in the middle of your hands, in between your fingers, on the outsides. So properly, thoroughly wash your hands. We're now going to proceed through the temperature screening. So once again here, it's still actually a security screening point. So make sure you have your electronic device out. And here, put your device, as well as a temperature check. Yeah? And you come through here. And you pick up your device as you go along. Yeah. So the whole idea is you come back and you take your vehicle like normal.
Yes.
And proceed to your place of work or your terminal building that you're traveling to. There are two departure doors. They're easily accessible.
Yes.
The most important thing, Chamwada, is the Kenya Airports Authority has set up the social distance markers, 1.5 meters apart from each other, and also the back way. In the case of this door, we have two ways to get in. So you come in this way, or you go through the other door on the other side. Yeah.
And you have to come early enough.
Yes, of
Not
course.
business as usual.
It's not business as usual anymore. 1 hour earlier is ideal at the moment. And as you know, with domestic, it's a much simpler travel experience. All you need is your ID or your passport. When you get here,
So here you queue.
you queue.
It's a queue here.
You wait here for your turn, and then you proceed all the way here now to security screening. When you're here, the gentleman will likely ask you for your boarding pass or your ID. The security warden will not touch the documents. So you simply proceed and display to him. So I'll let you go past so you can actually show the documents to him.
Okay. Here's my boarding pass. So,
Remove all your valuables, personal electronic device, your belt, and any other devices that are metallic in nature and coins, just in preparation for the security screening. Once you've done that, put your items on the screening machine. Please proceed. So now you're okay, Alex. You can proceed and pick up your items on the other side. So once you've picked up your personal items through the screening machine, you should proceed to the well-labeled hand sanitizer. This is a contactless hand sanitizer, so all you have got to do is present your hands. You shall proceed to the check-in counters. Now, there are two options available to you.
Yes.
One is to use the self-check-in machines, which are automatic touch screens. Yeah. So if you did have your boarding information, you would approach the counter here.
So you just need your boarding pass.
That's correct. That's
check
correct.
in.
This you would use if you've got to drop off baggage.
Yes.
So essentially, everybody will follow the queue, keeping still within the social distance. And then now you get there's a sign on the floor, the please wait here marking. So another important thing that you may notice now is that all the counters have screens.
Yes.
These screens are designed to protect you, the traveler, as well as the check-in agent from any spread of disease.
Okay.
So you would approach a counter. This is all now glass. Previously it wasn't there.
So maybe we can.
Please proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you come to.
So you come into the counter. I'm going to stand here next to you, so I'm not close to you. So now, unlike before, when you're checking in, you'll be presenting your documents through this. The same thing you're doing now. And the agent, on the other hand, would sanitize their hands every time they touch a document. The same thing would apply to you when you got to approach the counter. You should proceed now to security screening. As you know, we have a two-step screening process. In this case, you will follow me, please. The airport authority has established a two-step security screening process. So you would be screened here, and then you would proceed to the boarding area. So essentially, you would probably find a queue here. You would have to wait until you're ushered in. This is the last security screening point. You come through here. We'll give you a quick bin for you to put your electronic device and your identification document. And then you'd walk through the detector. You would have to go through the same procedure you had when you walked into the building. Your shoes, any metallic objects, and any electronic devices. There you go. So, if you look outside, you will definitely now see you're very much in the air side, part of the terminal. Keeping again within social distance markings. It doesn't need to be close to each other. There's no difference. When you're coming from the same home, social distancing really doesn't apply. But here we are, so we're finally sat, and now we simply wait for our flight.
Okay. The way airports get crowded with people, is there enough space?
One thing that we've anticipated is the reduction in capacity of every single component in the traveler journey. So what travelers can expect to see is more of a coordinated process as they move from one stage of the journey to the next one. A simple example in this case is when you come into the check-in area, as you've seen, there's very limited space. So passengers will be limited to how many they can be in there. So let's say for the sake of example, 40 passengers. So 40 passengers only at a time can access that area. The same story applies to security screening, only 40 at a time. Departing, only 40 at a time. That will lengthen the process of the air transport journey.
Which means you must come really early.
Correct. Yeah. You must come early, and you can anticipate to queue. You can anticipate a more orderly process because, as you know now, passengers will be boarding the aircraft from the back seat going all the way forward. And the same process that will apply when they're coming in, they'll be planned in here according to where they're sitting in the aircraft. Just like in the check-in area, we also have a line for where you're going to wait. So you and I right now are standing here. We're 1.5 meters apart from each other, as well as there's a distance between us and the counter. So yet again, as you can see, there's a screen, a glass screen. You present your documents. Let's proceed. You can proceed because you'll be the last person. You present your documents to the service staff. Now, once you present your documents, be it your boarding pass or your travel document, then you'll be given the authority to proceed to board the aircraft. Alex, so for international departure, you would be using Terminal 1A, for example, and normally you'd have your trolley with your bag. There you go.
Fine, thank you. How are you? Good. Take your temperature.
Okay, 36.5.
That's okay.
Very good, very good. Now you've entered the check-in area. This is a self-check-in device. So you'd present your document, the bio page on the glass. You present it there, yes. It would read. Once you've had your document, travel document checked and issued a boarding pass, you go to a hand sanitization, automatic hand sanitization point. There you go. It has dispensed sanitizer for you. And as you can see, the airport authority has installed multiple points around the columns. So while keeping social distancing, shall be proceeding to the immigration counters. Right here, if you look to your right, you'll see the traditional check-in counter setup with an important component of one, social distancing and queuing, as well as counters that help protect the person providing you service as well as yourself. If you had luggage, you'd go to the counter. One thing that we've done in this airport is you've got to baggage drop counters. You can simply proceed over there, drop your baggage, as well you present your boarding pass, and it moves a lot faster. Once you've completed your check-in process, you proceed towards passport control. This procedure has not changed. What's different now is social distance markers will guide you along the path towards the immigration counters. You will be required to remove your glasses and your mask for proper identification and verification. And once he's done that, he'll verify that you are a legitimate traveler and are allowed to leave the country before he stamps it and passes it on back to you. You're going to what you call primary screening, security screening, and you will either use the lift or the escalator. I suggest you use the escalator. An important part of using the escalator also is still social distancing.
You avoid touching surfaces.
Please do avoid touching the handrails and any other surfaces that you do not need to touch unnecessarily. So here we are. We are now approaching the security screening point. Once you pick up your bag, you're now proceeding with your journey to go to the boarding area. So here we are. You are at a proper boarding gate where you have face-to-face contact with the boarding agent. So you should have your the boarding document ready, as well as your travel document ready. You will present it to the agent. Like before, you'll proceed, display it to them. You shall display it to them. Together with your boarding pass is when you shall be allowed access to the passenger boarding bridge